that makes it on Facebook. Okay, and we will dive on in. Are you doing okay today? Yeah, good. Has anybody found the things we're discussing are popping up and disturbing their sleep and their dreams? Lovely Linda, who's on here, she's doing the inner circle. She sent me a flyer design yesterday, last night, and said, could we look at my updated flyer tomorrow? And then first thing this morning, she's like, I've redone the flyer. I got an idea in the middle of the night. So yes, very much kind of tickles this. But today we're going to put that into some strategy for it's fabulous to have some ideas. It's fabulous to get excited. But now what? We actually have to get them out of the page and into real life. So that is what we are doing today. I will put the screen share on. Where are we? All the way back. Just get a quick look at what we're doing. Okay, here we are. So, pillars of a profitable yoga business, day 3. So, remember for being here live today, you get the live bonus that you can select any CPD training from my on-demand course vault. There's really short, like 2 hour the history of yoga to much longer 8 hour deep dives into a topic. So I will give you the link at the end. And then once you've seen all the classes, you'll just have to email me and go, Laura, can I have this one? Because there's no way for you to be able to purchase it for free. So you'll just have to email me and say, I want this one. And then I will get it to you. And there's still prizes to be won. You've been doing your homework much, much better. That is my plan this afternoon to dive into your homework. And thank you for being here on a Saturday lunchtime as well. I know this will have interrupted something in your day, so I really appreciate that. And if you're doing the replay, I know that takes a lot of discipline, so thank you. I am very happy to have my Saturday interrupted because the husband is doing the DIY in the studio and I don't really want to help. He is fixing the walls and doing the electrics today. I'll help when it's maybe, a paintbrush. So just a quick reminder that we're going to do our best to be present and focused and take a line action. So phones away or just turn the screen over, close any tabs, distractions, cameras on if you can, chat open if you can, get ready to take notes, to fill in your workbook. And remember that homework is to be submitted by 10 p.m. tomorrow night in the Facebook group to be in for the chance to win one of our prizes. So, recap. And why do I recap on these 2 core fundamental things that I've told you every day? So that I start to take up an annoying little place in your head and you can hear me going, build community, real relationships, real people. I've got to build community, real relationships, real people. I just like to take up a little bit of space in there forever. Okay. So, yeah, first and foremost, you are building community with real conversations with real people that can be online, that can be in person. There was someone on the inner circle yesterday, Cindy, who goes on her flyer drops. And I don't think I have ever been more impressed by a human in my entire life. She rings the doorbell. Appropriately shocked faces. When I say on mentorship or on teacher training, you need to go door to door dropping flyers. There will always be someone that says, but what if someone answers the door? Or what if someone's in their front garden? That is most of our idea of hell. And I'm like, well, that's a really good opportunity to say, oh, hi, I'm sorry to be interrupting you, but I just wanted to give you a little flyer about my yoga. This wonderful human is so brave that she rings the doorbell and has a real conversation. I will say she's South African. Aside from her accent, it was the biggest clue she wasn't British. But we need to take a leaf out of that book and not maybe ring doorbells, that's a lot to ask. But when we have the opportunity to have a real conversation with someone. Hi, my name's Laura. I'm stupidly passionate about yoga. What do you love? You know, it doesn't have to go straight into selling the yoga. Just start a real conversation with someone and they will pivot back to, oh, you said you love yoga. Tell me more about that. You know, it's not even starting with, I teach yoga. I'm ridiculously passionate about yoga. So real conversations, when we can be brave enough to have them with real people to create real relationships so that our yoga classes can actually deliver real results because we know what real people need and want. So now we've done a lot of dreaming and thinking with that tiny little caveat of the funnel, because that is just the reality check in there. Most dreams stay dreams because we don't break them down into little steps. So we think, I have a dream of writing a book. I have a dream of building a yoga studio. I have a dream of having a sold out yoga class. I have a dream of running a weekend retreat. I have a dream of launching this online yoga library. And the dream itself feels so big that we don't know where to start. And often we start with the wrong thing. So when it comes, for instance, to designing a course, a lot of people will start by actually planning all of the course content. That is the wrong first step. The first step is to plan the marketing, test the market, see if anyone wants your course. Then once you've got people signed up for your course, you then plan the actual content. But most yoga teachers don't do that. They take the wrong step. They plan the content first. They used all of their fabulous energy in planning the content of this 10-week journey through the yama and niyama. And then when they launch it, they realize maybe people couldn't do that time or they couldn't do that price, or for some reason it hasn't worked. Often just because you didn't put as much energy into your marketing as you did into creating the course. But then because you put so much work into creating the course and it didn't run, then that makes you feel really sad. And then it really knocks your confidence. So it's about knowing how to break your dreams down into steps and how to order your steps in a strategic way. And this are things that you do just have to be taught. But one little step at a time, we break the dreams down into steps. We take one little step at a time with a complete and utter non-attachment to the outcome. And that is something that I am very passionate about. That is a learning straight from the Bhagavad Gita, and it's what gives me the confidence to try everything, because I might as well try, it might not work. So take, for instance, the postgraduate teacher training that's starting in March. I tried twice before to launch some form of a postgraduate teacher training. Maybe over the last sort of 3 years, I tried to launch it twice before. And both times I hadn't planned the content, I planned the marketing. I knew enough about what I wanted to deliver in the content to be able to plan the marketing, but I hadn't actually created the content. I then put it out there. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right price. It wasn't the right framework. It just wasn't right. And both times it didn't fill. But non-attachment to the outcome. My heart wasn't broken because I hadn't spent hours creating this thing no one then wanted. So circles round again, I get the itch in my soul to create a postgraduate training. I put it out again, but this time it looks totally different because I am different to who I was 3 years ago. I say to the faculty of teachers on the course, I'd love you to teach. It might come to life, it might not come to life, but hey, we're going to put it out there. And this time it's sold out. But had I been attached to the outcome, I would have never tried again. Right? Had I invested so much time in creating the course, I would have never tried again. So it's really important that we have a non-attachment to the outcome. So, okay, you want to launch a day retreat, launch it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it will work in a year's time when you've built your audience up more. But never let fear of failure stop you from trying? Because fear of failure is attachment to the outcome. And we're yogis. We know we can't control that. Okay. So we lean into our yoga philosophy. So once we've decided the thing we want to do, we need to know strategy, marketing, and how to promote it. So that starts by working out your steps. And in the steps, there's going to be something you don't know how to do. And you need to work that out. So maybe you don't know how to set up a landing page. Maybe you don't know how to get reviews. Maybe you don't know how to find a caterer. There will be some simple things you don't know how to do. And the first thing is we identify. What don't I know how to do? And how am I going to work out how to do it? Where am I going to learn? Then you think, okay, how am I going to attract the people that are going to be excited by this offering, this beginner's course, this retreat, this workshop? How am I going to communicate to the right people? Then marketing, promotion, and sales. We're going to explore what the difference is, how to create a promotion plan. And then I'll also be giving you an invitation to work with me at the end. So as I said, that first step, what don't I know how to do? There is a lovely quote from Maria Forleo. Everything is figure-outable. I really believe that. If there's something you don't know how to do, you don't know how to set up your Google My Business, you don't know how to set up your website, you don't know how to create a landing page, it is figure-outable. One of the girls from teacher training this year, she hadn't used a computer, she told me, in 15 years. And she was the first after our website training to get her website up, her booking system up, her payment system up. And people are booking and paying her through it. And she hadn't touched a computer in 15 years. Okay? And she'd done it so well that she booked and paid for a session with my assistant to go over her website. And she's like, I couldn't have got it right because it was too easy. She had got it right. Okay? She just got taught how to do it, pulled up her big girl pants and went and did it. So when we identify the things we need to learn, that's where we get to grow. And we are meant to grow. We're not meant to be perfect and evolved as we are, like a houseplant. Our houseplants should be growing. But some of our houseplants stop growing because we've kept them in too small a pot. We haven't given them opportunity to grow. We haven't given them nourishment, light, new soil. We're meant to grow. So when you identify what you've got to learn, that is where your opportunity for growth is. So what do you need to learn to help grow this offering? Okay. Some learning. If you want to attract new people, new people to your yoga classes, new people to your course, new people to your workshop, new people to your retreat, you have to understand the 4 stages of relationship building. And I know some of you will have heard me talk about this enough times, but it does get forgotten. So 4 stages of relationship building. If I want to attract new students, I have to connect with new people. A lot of yoga teachers, especially like fresh out teacher training, will get led to Instagram. And then they'll get all of their friends to follow them on Instagram. They'll get everybody they did teacher training with to follow them on Instagram. And then they will share their classes to those people on Instagram. Those people aren't new to them. They're their friends, they're their colleagues, they're their fellow trainees. If they wanted to be doing yoga with you, they already would. So if you want to attract new students, you need to be communicating and connecting with new people. You can't just, I put it on my Instagram, I put it on my Instagram, I put it on my Instagram to the same 26 followers that are your mates that aren't anywhere near you anyway, and probably think you're crazy for doing yoga. You have to connect to new people. So where do new people hang out? It can be on social media. There's definitely groups. So Facebook groups is the only reason I really still think Facebook works, because just posting on your Facebook page whether that's a professional page or a personal page, again, you're talking within your echo chamber. And Facebook doesn't like showing it to that many people anyway. You're controlled by the algorithm. Whereas instead of staying in your little party of the people that follow my Facebook page, you go into a different group. That's like socializing with a different group of people. Okay. So what are the Facebook groups? Think intelligently about this. The number of people that come into the Yoga Teacher Collaborative and try and advertise their Monday night yoga class in Macclesfield, I'm like, why are you doing that to a group of yoga teachers that aren't in Macclesfield? Come on. You need to go. Why Macclesfield? I don't even know this place. Just a random example came to my head. They need to go into What's On in Macclesfield group, Businesses of Macclesfield group, Mums of Macclesfield group, Spiritual Healing in Macclesfield group, Social Gatherings in Macclesfield group. Okay, I could try saying that word too many times. Macclesfield. Anyway, so you need to go into Facebook and search. It's on the left-hand side. And you need to search your town name. You need to search your county. And then you need to search the neighboring towns that are close enough that somebody might still travel to you. So for instance, I've got Eastleigh and Chandler's They're right next to each other. People go between the two all the time. But there will be an Eastleigh group and there'll be a Chandler's group. So I need to be in both. Once you put the town name in, it will then say, are you searching for posts, people, or groups? Say groups. And then it will list you all of the groups. Okay? And go join them. Some of them are like tumbleweed, some of them work. And sometimes it's a time of year thing. Someone said in our inner circle that they had been posting in the groups for a while and it hadn't been working, so they stopped. And then they were feeling a little bit of a buzz with it being January, so they went and posted in January and got quite a few inquiries from it. So sometimes it's timing. You can't just do one post. And then sometimes it's how are you communicating in that group? And we will go into that in more detail in a second. So it can be Facebook groups. It can also be hashtags in Instagram, especially if you're working with, like I know a lovely teacher who offered retreats, especially for people experiencing and going through baby loss. So something like something she'd gone through herself and she was offering these nurturing spaces for them. And something like a hashtag baby loss is a really well utilized hashtag for people that are going through that. And like the privacy of a hashtag on Instagram, so that can work. But in person is always going to be best. If you want to fill an in-person class, in-person marketing, flyers, they still work if the design is good. Posters, A-boards, a blackboard that you put outside your venue. Going to groups where your people are. So maybe you could go and do, if say there's Slimming World in your same village hall, go and do a pop-up chat at Slimming World. Maybe it's WI, maybe it's a runners club, maybe it's a seniors group, maybe it's a mums group, maybe it's the park run. We spoke about fairs yesterday. Anywhere that attracts people, you need to go there. Okay. And once you get there, you need to actually start talking, communicate. Okay. So as I said, I went to a fair before Christmas and everyone was so grumpy on their stools. They didn't look up, they didn't make eye contact. So I just walked on past their stalls. I stopped at the two stalls where someone was nice, friendly, chatted to me. And from those two stalls, I bought things. Okay? So you have to communicate. And, I am a deeply introverted soul. And Victoria, love, if you've got a question, honey, just put it in the chat for me. So communicate like, hi, I'm Laura. I'm stupidly passionate about yoga. What do you love? Okay. Flip it really quickly. Okay. And that's the thing. If you are introverted, talking to people, the best way to talk to people, it's not about you. Okay. It's about them. So ask an open question. What do you love? I'm stupidly passionate about yoga. What do you love? Okay. So then when someone answers, again, introverts like me, we need techniques. TED. Tell me, explain, describe. Tell me more, explain, describe. I'm stupidly passionate about yoga. What do you love? Oh, what a funny question. No one's asked me that for a while. I absolutely love my poodle. Ted, tell me, explain, describe. Tell me more about your poodle. Oh my God, describe your poodle to me. Oh my God, explain to me what life is like with a poodle. Tell me, explain, describe. Okay? Just get someone talking about themselves. And then you are cultivating a relationship. And in there, they will sometimes mention something that you think yoga might then help them with. Sometimes it will be really obvious. They'll tell you about their, people like to tell you about what they're suffering with and their woes. Okay. It's just how we are here. Okay. But even if it isn't, go back to the poodle. Tell me more about your poodle. Oh, it's got this incredible appetite for walking. Oh my God, you must make your body feel really stiff keeping up with that poodle on a walk. Sounds like you need some yoga. Okay, there will always be an in if you keep the circle going round long enough. And then you invite. And we want to feel wanted. We want to feel wanted. Not feeling like we're wanted goes right back to a childhood wounding. I don't know if anyone's watching The Traitors at the moment. My husband is obsessed. But it's when you watch them in their games, one of them said, oh my God, it takes me right back to being picked for sporting groups like I'm at school. We all have that wound. Even if we were the one that got picked, we still worry that what if I'm not picked today? Okay? So we always want to be wanted. It's a core wound. I have so loved chatting with you today. I run a little yoga class, like self-deprecating humor is such a British thing, but I run a little yoga class in the village hall. Why don't you come along? I would love to share it with you. Tell you what, have your first class on me. Come for a freebie. Okay. So much nicer than I offer a free first class. Well, that's just generic to everyone. You're not making me feel special. Okay. So invite. And then delight. Okay. And then delight. What does that mean? You've worked so hard, putting yourself out there, flyer dropping. God forbid we start to learn to ring the doorbell. Okay. Leanne, I can feel you doing it. You know you're ready. She's going to ring a doorbell. um, but we put ourselves out there. We go through the small talk. We go through the awkwardness of inviting. Then capitalize on that, delight them. The easiest ways to delight someone, remember their name. If you are doing day one of a beginner's course, okay, maybe 10 to 15 brand new people are going to come in what you've not met. That's hard. But if you've got a class going and you're just trying to expand it, you know when you've got a new student booked in. Okay. And I'd love to think we get 6 new students book in one day. It's not how it goes. We get a couple of newbies over a month, maybe 3, 4 over a month. You know, they're booked in. They should be. So then they walk through the door. Hi, you must be Sandra. Really nice to meet you. I'm Laura. Welcome. Sometimes it can just be that, a personal introduction. I've gone to so many yoga classes where I've been new and I've just been completely ignored, because they're so busy talking to their favorite student. Then instantly you don't feel that connection. Then keep an eye on them in the class, make eye contact in the class, smile at them. And a trick, when you welcome a new person, you say, hi, welcome. Have you done any yoga before? Do you have any aches, pains, and injuries? Don't rush off at the end. I'd love just to check back in with you. Okay, just try and remember that. Don't rush off at the end. I'd love to check back in with you. because then that gives you, you did really well. How do you feel? That gives them the opportunity to give any feedback. And it might be, I loved it. Great, it'd be wonderful to see you next week. Or it equally might be, actually, I found that a little bit hard for me. I could really feel it on my wrists. And then you might be able to offer them support or even recommend a different class to them if that class wasn't a good fit. Maybe they needed a gentle class, not a vinyasa, or maybe they really felt their knees and they need a chair class. And then Delight doesn't finish. You follow it up. Within 24 to 48 hours, you send a personal thank you. Hi, Mary. It was so lovely to see you at class last night. Um, how do you feel today? It's normal to feel a little bit stiff, especially if they're a complete beginner. It'd be great to see you again. Click here to book for next week. Again, inviting. Really important, that follow up and that second invitation. If you think of this like dating, I think there's that word ghosted. I've been married for way too long to know this stuff, but ghosted. That's when they don't message afterwards, right? Okay. Don't ghost. All right. It was really lovely. Send that message within 24 to 48 hours. Just having a quick look. So Victoria's put the challenge with going to fairs is that whole stall it costs money and it's difficult to spare when the spare budget isn't there. How to overcome a need to advertise and increase revenue and having the budget to spend on advertising. Yeah, Victoria, that definitely is something to consider, but it's a business and business incurs costs. We do have to be prepared to invest. Getting your flyers printed is going to cost money. Getting your posters printed is going to cost money. Going to a fair is going to cost money. Sometimes a table is £25. Okay? Advertising on Facebook is going to cost money. There is a monetary cost to running a business. And we do have to expect to invest. There are other free ways, like you can just really sit in those Facebook groups and build relationships in there. But yeah, there will be costs involved. So really focus on where you spend your money and are your ideal students there. So for instance, some people pay to advertise in their local village newspaper. For many people, that's a waste of money unless your ideal clients would read it. So if you run a seniors class, if you run a chair class, advertising in your local village news can work. If you run an active vinyasa class, advertising in that village news is not going to work. So think about where you do spend your advertising budget. So how do we take people from stranger to student? Stranger danger is a real thing. And unfortunately, many yoga teachers fall into these traps, which keeps them as strangers without realizing that that's what you're doing. Okay? So for someone to feel like that you're not a stranger, that you're someone that they trust, that they feel they'd like to go to yoga with, they want to feel like they know, like, trust you, and they're welcome. This is the oldest marketing cliche, but it's true. Know, like, trust, and that they're welcome. So how do you get someone to feel like they know you? You don't know me if you don't know my name. Many yoga teachers will have a brand name. And then when you join the Yoga Teacher Collaborative, you join under your brand name. And I want to send you a message saying, welcome, but I don't want to address it to Dear Yoga of Macclesfield. I want to say, Dear Fred. Okay? So if you are using a brand name, you need to then make your real name really obvious. Yoga of Macclesfield with Fred. Hi, I'm Fred. I run Yoga of Macclesfield. Okay? So really make sure your name is so obvious and your face. You don't know me if you don't know what I look like. Okay? And we spoke on day one about the fear of photography. We have just got to get the face out there. Eyes and teeth make someone feel like you have a relationship with you. One of my lovelies on teacher training, she kept using photographs of the back of her head. They were very artistic. Like, well, if I can only see your back, it's very pretty and that sunset's stunning, but I need to see your face. If you can share video, that helps because, even as I'm talking to you on here on video, you're getting a lot more of my personality than if it was just a photograph of me with some marketing tips. It's nice to know a little bit about what you do, where you do it, and who's it for. So you know me if you know. Hi, my name's Laura Green. I'm a yoga teacher in Southampton. I run Vinyasa yoga classes for people who are spiritually curious. Okay? Yeah, like, oh yeah, I've seen her. Okay? And then that's the no. Okay? Then from no, you want to get to like. Okay? And we would love to think that yoga's got nothing to do with us as the teacher, and we're just the voice that's sharing the yoga. But I bet none of you go to a yoga class regularly with a teacher you don't like. Okay? Like, okay? Now, not everyone is going to like us. That's so okay. But how do people get to like you? You want to be professional, real, relatable, and human. So what helps that? Share a little of your personal life. Okay? Hobbies, hopes, and loves and dreams, but with boundaries. You probably don't want to have all of your personal life known by your students, known on your social media, explored in your classes. So we have what's called content buckets, 3 to 5 things that you talk about in marketing outside of yoga. So one of your content buckets is yoga. Hopefully your students know that you're crazy about yoga. Then what else? If anyone's in my circle, they could probably list off what they know. They know I'm crazy about yoga. They'll absolutely know I'm crazy about cats. I've got 4. You probably know I'm food obsessed. Okay? And you probably know I absolutely love to travel. Okay? You might know I'm a musician as well. Okay? So that's probably what you know about me. Okay? Now I have a whole host of other hobbies that I'm not going to tell you. They might not be fit for public consumption. It's okay for me to have privacy. But people are like, oh yeah, I know Laura. She's crazy about cats, absolutely food obsessed, and I swear she's permanently abroad. Okay? So you get a feel of what you like and whether they resonate with that or not. Then trust, cultivating trust. How do people get trust? It's earned over time of doing what you'll say you'll do. But a little hack for trust is help someone help people. If you help someone, you're going to have a sense of trust. Give, give, give. Okay? So it might be that you share little recordings of meditations, that you share your playlist from class, that if someone mentions they've got back pain, you share a little YouTube video with them that might help. Might not even be your YouTube video. Just go, oh, I think I saw a really good YouTube video about yoga for back pain. Let me hunt that out for you. Really give and help. And from an open heart. If you've been in my circle for any time, you know how much I give. Okay? And you can tell when I'm giving that there's no boundaries on it. I'm not withholding any information from you now. I'm not going, oh, you'll only get the gold if you pay for it. You can just feel that I will just give, and I will do the right thing by you. Okay? And that builds trust quickly. Okay? Then once someone feels like they know you, they like you, they trust you, they still want to feel welcomed. They still want to feel that you like them and you'd like them to come to yoga. So how do we develop that? We make eye contact with people. We try our best to remember their names. We give them time to be heard. Okay, what is marketing and what is sales? Marketing is relationship building. Sales is inviting someone to attend and partake in the thing you're offering. What I see a lot of the time is yoga teachers do no marketing. They do selling and they think it's marketing. So you'll go up into a Facebook group that you have done no relationship building in, that you never even go into. You pop into it once a month and you put a picture of your workshop or class and go, come to my class at 6 p.m. Friday. They're like, who are you? Okay? No relationship building. And I always say that's a little bit like a booty call to try and help you remember. So that's like just ringing someone up and saying, hey, fancy a hookup, without any of the relationship building. So every time you go into a Facebook group and just dump in an advert, that's a booty call, my love. Okay? So you need to be present in the Facebook groups. If someone in there is asking for a recommendation and you've got one, share it. And look at how people use the Facebook groups. You use it. Maybe you're looking for a new walk in your local area. Go and ask in the Facebook group, even if it's not what you would normally do. Go and partake in them. Feel the vibe they have. There's one Facebook group, the Nursling and Roundlands Facebook group, and they are permanently complaining about fireworks and the post office being closed. So you could put a post in there going, hey, feeling stressed that there's fireworks and the post office is closed. I think you need to come to yoga. Okay? It shows you're a part of the community. You're a part of the chat, okay? Not just cold going in there and selling. You have to build relationships, communicate, give to people. Okay? So marketing is real conversations, real people, building real relationships, understanding their real challenges, offering real solutions in real classes. So you build real communities, create a real business in real time. In real time means there's no quick fix, love. Okay? If you want to go from graduated yoga teacher training to full-time supporting yourself as a yoga teacher, that journey takes 2 years. And that's if you've got time to invest in it. To get a class well established is going to take 9 months. Okay? Real time, slow, sustainable growth. What sales is understanding someone's real need. That poodle's making them feel really stiff from doing too many walks and being yanked about. Offering real help. Extending an invitation to come experience your classes, make it easy for them to accept the invitation, space them to ask you questions, follow up your invitation, and then deliver on what you promise. Okay. So you'll have to fill this in on your own time, but decide what are the little action steps you are going to take to start to find new people to build a relationship with, to communicate your offerings to. Then how do you run a promo campaign? I use this image because I've just used this image on a brand new promo campaign. Images are really powerful, especially images that stop someone in their tracks. This is curious. This is like Alice in Wonderland. It's like in the dark, it's in the woods. And this is the image for me advertising the yoga and biofluorescent wonder in the dark evening. Okay, so creativity comes into promo campaigns. Also say it's not AI. Some of it is, but I really did stand through the mirror, okay, with a feather and a lantern. Okay. How to run a promo campaign. Whether you're promoting your classes, workshop, retreat, you need a page that tells everybody what it is, how it meets their know, like, and trust. Sorry, how it needs their need, want, desire, or problem. Okay. What is it? Make it enticing and invite them to book. An invitation page or a booking page can be a page on your website. It can be a landing page created in your email software. But this bioluminescence thing, I just did a Word doc. I just made a Word doc, saved it as a PDF, and sent it on WhatsApp to some students I knew were equally crazy about the woods. and doing weird things with me. Okay? So it was just a Word doc. You want to have images and text. So I had to create the text that described Wonder After Dark. I had to create the images that enticed you into Wonder After Dark. And then I have to announce it with a call to action. Now you can publicly announce things and you can send personal invitations. I like personal invitations. I do them first. So I've sent a few personal invitations to Wonder After Dark. Okay, Marcus, I need to send you yours. Then I'll send it out publicly on email, social media. But there's something really special about, hi, Jenny, hope you're well. I've created something really special. I think it's just up your street. I wanted you to see it before I opened it to more people. Okay? People feel that, and it's real. It's real. Then you send things out publicly. You include educational content. So my first launch, Wonder After Dark, here it is. If it hasn't sold out after that, I'll then send what is biofluorescence. And then I would do another educational piece about how the brain responds to wonder and awe, educational, with a call to action. So if you want to experience the brain effects of awe, come book Wonder After Dark. Maybe there's a live video. So if you're advertising a yoga for stress release course, maybe you do a little video of your break glass in case of emergency top tool for nervous system regulation and a CTA call to action. Click here to book. If it's still not sold out, you can message people who are booked in and invite them to bring a friend. You normally have to do 2 to 3 sales emails, social media emails. Always do a last chance to book. And you can still do old school posters, flyers, and A-boards. Okay, so that is a lot of information on marketing, strategy, sales, how to run a promo campaign. So then it's look at the thing you want to create and decide, are you ready? Are you excited? Do you believe in this? And then just non-attachment, go try the thing. I might be on my own wandering in the dark with my biofluorescence. Just go launch the thing, non-attachment. I believe in you because I have seen so many things that yoga teachers are creative. If we believe in what we create, we already come with heart and soul. We're natural community builders. I've seen it all done and all work. So if you believe in you, you believe in yoga, I believe in you, you believe in your offer, we can bring the whole thing to life. Okay, I'll come back to the after party. So as you've heard me mention the whole time, we can do this together. A 12-week business mentorship program for yoga teachers. I only run it once a year. So it only runs from February, 6th of February. It is all recorded and you have lifetime access. And the first thing we say at the beginning of the 12 weeks, if you don't want to take 12 weeks, if you want to spread this out over 12 months, go ahead. You've got lifetime access to it all. I want to show you something. We spoke about need, want, desire. I want to teach you need, want, desire through showing you it done. Okay, so need. And think about what are you trying to offer? Beginners classes, workshops. For me, 12-week mentorship program. First thing you market to is what someone needs. So do you need this program? You have a need if you've got still to set up your essential business components. You need a website. You need a booking system. You need a payment system. You need a clear strategy on pricing. You need terms and conditions. You need Google My Business. You need flyers and posters. You need social media campaigns. You need to learn email marketing. You need to learn strategy, and you probably need accountability. Those are all things you need. Solution, Let me help you with all of them. They're all covered in the business mentorship program. So that's need, solution, the easiest one to market to, because if you need it, you need it. Want. How is need and want different? You want sold out yoga classes. You want regular, loyal students. You want sustainable, reliable income. You might want to run a successful retreat, workshop, course. You might want to streamline how you work to maximize your time. Solution, 12-week mentorship program. Then the last one, desire. That can be harder to identify. So maybe you desire to be seen, supported, and guided. Maybe you desire to feel confident and trust in yourself. Maybe you desire to have a sounding board of yoga teacher friends to run ideas past. Maybe you desire for someone to get excited about your little wins and acknowledge your progress. Maybe you desire to be paid to be on safari. I held that desire for 10 years until I managed to make it happen, and I was so happy. Maybe you desire to fully support yourself by doing what you love. If those are the things you desire, solution is still a 12-week mentorship program. Okay? So a worked through example, and I keep explaining to you, understand this journey. Yes, you can download every free workbook I've got. Often that doesn't give you lasting change. You get excited for 5 minutes, don't implement. There's a guide, 61 plus ways to attract new students. You can download it, but are you going to do it? Step 2, you come to something cheap or crowded, like this free training. I can see the questions in the chat, but it's very hard in a group, large group training to answer them. That's why I've got the inner circle. So as a big group, no personalization. You will learn. You've learned stuff those last 3 days. You can try it on your own, but you'll hit a wall often. You can stall, and then in a year's time, nothing's really any different on those needs and desires. Or you can jump to the way that actually gives results, which is have direct mentorship. And it comes back to we do have to invest in our business. You invest in a teacher training. Most teacher trainings teach you how to teach yoga. Most of them then don't teach you how to run a business. We still have to invest in learning how to run a business. So you invest time to money to work with a mentor. Small group, only take about 15, one-to-one, everything tailored to your business, everything a clear strategy for you, absolute personal feedback on everything, encouragement, accountability, and occasionally your bum kicked. Then you stop circling the same problems and actually transform and make change. So, do you want to do it alone, or do you actually want change, growth, and support? The mentorship program is 6 modules. We really clarify who are you, where do you do your work, when do you do it, who do you do it for, why do you do it, and how do they book? Then module 2, we get sorted on websites, booking platforms, payment strategies, and taking payment. Module 3, all about online marketing and social media, the actual nitty-gritties of it. Module 4, the nitty-gritties of in-person community marketing. Module 5, the most important one, customer service. Module 6, creating email lists, lead magnets, and email marketing. There is nothing on there in 16 years of running my yoga business I don't use all the time. So here's a little feedback from people that have done it over the years. Tim's, I love this. He said, I got the results to prove how successful you can be if you follow Laura's process. It's simple, but hard work. The number of people I'm teaching is up by 40% in 2 months. So think about the number of people you're teaching right now. Would you like that to increase by 40%? He's smashed his best ever month for turnover. Brilliant course. Really pleased I signed up. Tim did the course quite a long time ago, and I don't necessarily update my slides just because I'm busy. But he is now teaching on my teacher training this year. Okay? That journey, okay, from building up best month to teaching on a teacher training. This is a clear money one. I've taken the name out here because it actually is her Wix payment, but she sent me a screenshot of her payout, £973. Mentorship is 795 for you, 895 normal, 795 £100 off. Best month ever, she got 973 just in 1 month of working together. Can thank you enough for the mentorship program. Okay. Would you like to be earning that per month and more? Okay. She was brand new to teaching. This is a lovely Claire who did the training, celebrating 1 whole year as a yoga teacher. So much learning along the way. But I'm going into my 2nd year with 5 established classes, 40 regular clients, 2 classes at a local studio, a small contract with a local school for 2 classes, a website, Facebook, booking system in place, the confidence to revise her prices and create a mailing list and send out her first newsletter. Huge gratitude to Laura for helping me thrive. I can't recommend taking the mentorship enough. Okay. And then obviously Leanne's, you saw this one yesterday. Leanne did teacher training. I teach a lot of this on teacher training, but she's 1 year in with 7 classes, pretty much all full, plus a monthly restorative. 2027, she's launching her retreat. Okay. I'm going to skip over that one because it's a video and the audio is not working. So you can succeed. You just need to be taught the rules, taught how, and held accountable. So it starts on the 6th of February. That's a little arbitrary because it's all recorded and you can do it in your own time, or you can join it with me live. So don't worry if you can't be there live on the sessions. You'll always get the replays and you get access to everything for a lifetime. So the normal price, I haven't put it up, this is the same price as last year, is $895 when you pay in full. That's 1 sold out workshop. Someone asked me on a coaching call yesterday, the day before, how much they should be earning from a day retreat. And I said £2,000. Okay? That's what I earn on a day retreat. She was earning £500 because she'd chosen a venue that cost £1,350 because she's got no mentorship. She has no support. I'm like, you shouldn't be paying more than £300 for a venue. Okay? So when you actually know how to price something, how to plan it, 895, that's 1 sold out workshop. Okay? Or 3 months at 325. But you get that special discount for being here live, which makes it 795 or 292. So let me come out of there. How do I come out? There we go. All right, my loves, I'm going to put you the links in. So I'm going to give you the link for your live bonus that you can just go get a free training with me, actually do some yoga. So there you can get a free on-demand training. You will have to email me which training you want because you can't get it for free online to do that manually. And then here is this special hidden link. You can't get to this link any other way. So copy that link out and that takes you to a special page where it's £100 cheaper. You won't see that on an email. That won't go anywhere. Now I've got like 6 minutes. Okay. So I'm just going to have a little look in your questions. Question for Victoria. I know that to progress in my yoga business, I need to quit my 2nd job. But at the moment, I rely financially on my 2nd job. I don't know how to transition away from my 2nd job and still support my family. What can I do? Really good question. And I'm sure many people have a similar situation to that. Going from no other income to supporting yourself just with yoga, that is a hard jump to make. It's a hard jump in the mind because suddenly it makes a difference right now how many people are attending class, and it makes a difference around things like investing in a stall, in a fair, in some flyers when you're having to watch every penny to pay your bills. If you have no other financial support, and how I did it is I worked down my hours. So I had a full-time job. Yeah, currently 5 classes. So you're kind of where I was when I was working full-time. There's full time, I think, with 4 classes, 2 back-to-backs in the evening. And then this obviously does depend on your employer, but it might mean you have to change employer. I cut down my hours. So I went to flexi working first, so full-time hours and reduced hours. And then I went part-time, and then cut down the part-time, increase the yoga until I felt I could make the jump. And when I made the jump, I really, really reined in everything I could financially. Because at that point, I didn't really have any idea of the earning potential in yoga. Right? So I cut everything way back. And then my classes started to fill, and I started adding retreats and workshops, and then it expanded from there. If you, not everyone works in an environment where they can suddenly go, I want to reduce my hours. So it might be a change of job. It might be that you need to go and find a part-time job. It might mean that you need to go and find a temp job. It might mean that you have to move to contracting. But if you have to have the money to pay your bills, you're going to have to part-time, temp, whilst you build up the yoga business, because making that hard cut is not good for our nervous system unless you have other support to be paying your bills. Claire, I'm stuck trying to generate interest in vinyasa classes where I live in France and I teach in English. Should I find a venue before finding clients? Secondly, there are several yoga studios around. How would you approach yoga studios or find my venue? I would always find your own venue, right? And that's a real important thing if you want to teach full time. So if you want to teach for studios and gyms, some of the studios down by me, they're still paying less than £20. Some of them paying 20, some of them 25. Some of them are more generous. There was a hotel doing £36. But if they're your own classes, you should be making £100 profit from a class. You should expect to have 10 to 12 people. After you've built it up, it's going to take you your 9 months, but you should be taking home at least £100 an hour profit from your own class once you've built it up. So do you want David Lloyd to pay you £25 or do you want £100? Okay? So you have to teach way more if you're going to teach for the gyms. Yes, find the venue before you find clients, because clients, they have full diaries. They're like, no, I can only do 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. And you can't account for everyone. So just go find a venue, pick a time, and promote that. Vinyasa, and this goes for everybody. If you're trying to advertise a vinyasa class, you're trying to advertise a yoga nidra class, do your target audience know what that name means? Mars is hugely with your work as well. Do they know what that word means? Okay? If you don't know what something means, it's intimidating. You don't feel welcome. You don't feel like it's the right place for you. Okay? So if you're trying to market restorative yoga, yin yoga, yoga nidra, that's when you're talking about things like gentle yoga, yoga for deep rest, yoga for stillness and meditation. And then you put in the brackets using yin yoga, vinyasa yoga, dynamic, active classes, put a spring in your step. You want to be describing the class in the name, and then underneath it, using vinyasa yoga.
Hi, Laura.
Yes, darling.
I'm Sadhna.
Hi,
I have a
Sadhana.
question for you.
Yes,
So,
darling.
like I said, I completely run my classes online because I'm a full-time
Yeah,
working professional and I'm a mother as well for a
yeah.
14-month-old. So, what's the main marketing
What's the main
avenues? Like,
marketing? What? Repeat
the
that, darling.
main marketing avenues that you would recommend for an exclusively online classes, because like you said, I'm following the cliche thing, which is sorry, here's my child.
Okay.
So I'm following this cliche thing of posting regular content on Instagram and then stuff like that, but I don't see the conversions happening as much. I'm also actively taking part in Facebook groups,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'm sort of working from a sales mentality rather than actually connecting to people. So
Yeah,
what is that first? Because I'm a baby steps person, and I get overwhelmed if I have a mountain load of tasks in
yeah,
front of me. So
yeah,
what are those few first baby steps that you would recommend
of course.
for me to scale up my uh,
Yeah, no, good question. And I am always going to be very honest. Building in-person classes is significantly easier than building online. But obviously, there are situations where only online is
mm-hmm,
possible. Okay? But
mm-hmm,
I would just really sit with that. Is there somewhere that you could find
mm-hmm,
an 8 o'clock class? Like,
uh-huh,
is that, 8 o'clock, kids have gone to bed, is there someone at home? Is there any possibility of in person?
mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm,
you will work so much
mm-hmm,
harder to fill
mm-hmm,
online. If the
mm-hmm,
answer is no,
mm-hmm.
if I was starting from scratch online, I wouldn't be offering a weekly class. I would offer
Okay,
a course. Okay? And I would
okay,
get
okay,
people to block book the course. And I would
okay,
make
makes
the
sense.
course for a clear demographic with a clear
Okay,
outcome. So we already spoke
right,
about how you're a mum. Class your stuff online is free because
right,
you want to be giving that as your server to mums. So I would
right,
create something like the free mums yoga club. Okay,
right,
if you
right,
continue to decide you want to do it free,
right.
and then and I would make it everyone wants to be a part of the club, and
Mm-hmm,
then I would make it a 6 week journey
mm-hmm,
from stressed out mum
mm-hmm.
to probably still
A free
stressed out
soul,
mum.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to 2% better, 2% more
yeah,
sane. Okay?
right.
Then I would focus on the places that mums hang out, the hashtags with mums, the group with mums,
Uh-huh.
and if you could collaborate with someone, if
Mm-hmm,
you could collaborate with a midwife, if you could
mm-hmm,
collaborate with a doula, if you could
uh-huh.
collaborate with a nutritionist that supports mums,
Right.
anyone where they can share that,
Mm-hmm,
um, getting into other people's networks where stressed out mums hang out.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll
Yeah.
get started with it. Thanks, Laura.
Okay. All right, my loves. So I have to dive into our inner circle now. Thank you for being here. I know there's questions. I'm so sorry I didn't get to the questions. But I'm at the end of a mentorship program. So you will get an email probably today with the mentorship program, but you've already got the early bird link as well. I would love to work with you. I'm a friendly, happy soul with some good business strategy. So come spend 12 months. 12 months, that'd be nice. 12 weeks with me, and we'll change your business. All right. Thank you for your attention, my loves. And I'll see you on the other side. And I'll check out your homework as well. Go submit your homework. Bye for now.